world? Welcome back to another episode of Clark Crew Reviews. It's your boy Thanos. I mean Donovan. So, this is actually take 2 of my Avengers Endgame movie review, right? I actually wasn't even going to do a review of it because I'm not popular enough to get a lot of people who even care what I got to say on my channel yet, right? Also, in that same tone, I'm not doing a spoiler-free and a spoiler one. So this is your first and last warning. There's spoilers in this if you haven't went to one of the few million people left on the planet that haven't went and seen the movie yet. Okay? Okay? This is your last warning. I'm telling you right now. So I'm going to try to go in order as best I can. I'm probably going to jump around a little bit, but I'm going to tell you some of the things I thought about the movie, and I'm going to try to make this video a lot shorter than the previous one was. So let me lock my gauntlet in place, and let me set it down, okay? So the movie starts off, and I didn't cry. I did not cry in the movie, like I told you. There's a few parts where, my cheeks started getting that tingling sensation, and I brushed it off, all right? Thug life. But movie starts off almost like a continuation of Infinity War. Hawkeye is out with his family, teaching his daughter, as you see in the trailer. They get decimated. So that puts him on a path of becoming Ronin. He goes around killing the Yakuza. He goes around killing the cartel. Any bad people, he's all over the world striking them down. It goes from that to Tony Stark and Nebula floating in space. He's doing probably doing a hard light recording to show Pepper. He thinks he's not going to make it home. He's literally floating in a void of space. All of a sudden, like an angel, a floating yellow angel, Captain Marvel comes and saves him and Nebula and takes him back to Earth. I imagine she got the coordinates after her mid-credit scene in her own movie, right? So they come back. They're all still feeling defeat, and Captain America and Iron Man have a really dramatic moment where he's like, I told you we should have put a suit of armor. Captain America's like, how did that work out? He was like, I warned you this was going to happen, and you said, I literally had a dream about it, and he said a dream later in the movie, but he was like, you said we fell together, and we did that because we're the Avengers, not the pre-Avengers, we're the Avengers. Then he passes out from exhaustion because he's like all bony, right? So, there's a time jump. No, not a time jump. Actually, they start playing it. Iron Man can't go. So Captain America's like, well, let's go get him. Let's go get him. I mean, I'll take him out myself. You didn't have me, blah, blah, blah. And they're kind of like, oh, where's your horses? But then Captain America's like, let's go get this son of a bitch. Because he used the stones 2 days before that. Not unwillingly, unknowing to them, they ambush Thanos. He's all beat up. He's limping. He's Farmer Thanos. Half his body is all burnt up. They jump on him. Captain Marvel busts him down. Mark Ruffalo and the Hulkbuster grabs him. Thor comes in and cuts his arm off. Stones aren't in the gauntlet. These stones are gone. They are not in the gauntlet. They're missing. Right? Nebula's with him, and they're like, hey, where are the stones? He's like, I destroyed them. No, you just used them 2 days ago. Yeah, I used the stones to destroy themselves, and it nearly killed me. Call him a liar. Nebula says, yeah, my dad's a lot of things, but he's not a liar. Thor cuts his head off. Says, yeah, I went for the head. Didn't expect that. Movie's over, I guess. Can't bring anybody back. They leave, go back to Earth, I'm guessing. Well, not guessing because they do. It's a 5-year time jump. I did not expect a 5-year time jump. That gave the decimation plenty of time to settle in. Half the world still abandoned, right? All of a sudden, it cuts to a storage scene where there's a rat crawling through Scott Lang's van. Hits a button for the quantum realm projector thing. Boom, Ant-Man comes out. So the real hero of the Avengers movie is Master Splinter because he saved him. The second hero would be Ant-Man. The reason I say that is because as he's walking around trying to figure out what the hell happened, he actually looks for his daughter, finds out he's been gone for 5 years. But in his time in the quantum realm, it was only 5 hours. So he sees his daughter, she's grown up. That was an emotional moment for me, because as you know, I have a daughter. So it kind of touched me right here a little bit. But he's like, man, there's something that I can't shake. So he rolls up to the Avengers facility. Like you see in the trailer, they think it's old footage. He's like, yeah, the quantum realm stuff, yada, yada, yada. You can come out different places in time. What if we go back in time? They're like Back to the Future? He's like, no. Yeah, like Back to the Future. So nobody's an expert on it. So they go to Tony Stark, who by this time has a child, little girl actually. He's living like a cabin by himself, still tinkering. You know, he's a tinkerer. Or the mechanic, what do they call him in Iron Man 3? Turns him down. Leaves. He actually solves it, knocks him on his ass. He goes back. They're trying to send Scott Lang through, and he's coming back. He's old. He's a baby. He's just younger. And Iron Man's like, yeah, you're putting time through him. You're not putting him through time. He figured it out, right? So they devised a plan to go back through time. And I like the way they explain time. You know, they tried to simplify it because your timeline is your timeline. You can't go back like they try to say, let's just go back and kill baby Thanos. Which they was like, oh, that's messed up. What? He just killed half of everything existing everywhere. You don't want to kill him as a baby? Fuck out of here, Mark Ruffalo. Excuse my language. But, because it's already set. So, they decide to go back in different time periods and take the stones and reuse them. They go back different times, so it's 3 hours long, so I can't explain everything. So, some key points. You know, they go back to the Battle of New York. They go back to the old, it's not the old Doctor Strange, the ancient one, to get the time stone. Hulk does. They go back to, Thor sees his mom right before she dies. Then something gets messed up. Iron Man and Captain America go back further. You see Peggy Carter, he sees his dad, and they see a young Hank Pym. So they get everything, they go back, they get the gauntlet. And what happens is that Nebula goes back to the same universe and time frame where Thanos and young Gamora and young Nebula are. So Thanos must have the most powerful Wi-Fi router in the universe because our Nebula and 2014 Nebula sync up. So Thanos Nebula starts seeing all her memories. So he hooks her up, scans her, and figures out everything the Avengers are doing, right? So they go back. She switches places, a little espionage. So she goes back instead, gives him a Pym particle, and right before this happens, they put all the Iron Man makes a gauntlet. So if that comes out on, I got me a gauntlet. I got a gauntlet, right? If the Iron Man gauntlet comes out for the right hand, because that's what it was on, I'll have two, because I'm buying that Iron Man gauntlet for sure. So it changes shape too, size. Hulk puts it on. Hulk uses it. They want to bring everybody back to this time. Don't change the time. Don't send nobody back. Bring everybody that was decimated to this time period. Hulk puts it on. He's like, the power's what it's doing. Because he's like, it's mostly gamma anyway, so it's like I was built for this. Snaps his fingers, and everybody gets brought back. Everybody except our Gamora and Black Widow. Black Widow is dead. She is killed. Her and they go to get the Soul Stone. Going into the movie, I didn't think that they was going to die getting the Soul Stone. Now I know you had to give up, a soul to get the Soul Stone, but I figured going into the movie, they would have found a way around it. They didn't know you had to. They kind of didn't know you had to actually kill yourself. But Nebula was like, yeah, Gamora left with Thanos. She never came back. So something happened. So Clint and Natasha are going back and forth. Who's going to sacrifice themselves? Yada yada. Eventually, Black Widow sacrifices herself because they love each other. She jumps and she's dead. I was watching YouTube channel Daquan Wiltshire, and he was like, nigga, if somebody's going to volunteer to kill themselves, I'm not going to bigger with you. It's not me. But Hawkeye, you've been with that bow for some years, my nigga. I know you love it. Throw that mother off the cliff. I thought that was funny. That was a little snarky remark to have me laugh and know when I was watching this video. He got some funny stuff. Y'all should check him out. But she's dead. Black Widow's dead. She's not coming back unless they do her prequel movie. You know what I mean? So Thanos comes actually through the quantum realm And actually, I don't know how he got through the quantum realm, to be honest with you. Because Tony Stark built, oh, well, Nebula reprogrammed the giant quantum realm machine that Tony did. Maybe that did it and zeroed in on a pin particle. I don't know how they knew how to do it so fast, but I mean, maybe they're just geniuses. You know what I mean? So Thanos comes through the quantum realm portal and just unloads on the Avengers facility. He destroys it. It crumbles, it craters into the ground, and everybody's buried. Hawkeye gets it. He's trying to run from the Outriders with it, and he gets away. And then he runs into Nebula, who's like, "You can change." Nebula. He runs into our Nebula and Gamora. And he's like, "You can change." She's like, "No, I can't. You won't let me." Then our Nebula blasts her through the chest and kills her. Can't kill her. She's not dead. Ours isn't dead because it's a different timeline, remember? So they get the gauntlet. All of a sudden, Thanos is outside chilling, takes his sword down, boom, puts his helmet off, and just waiting for these niggas. Like, I'm serving everybody lunch today. Even without the gauntlet, Thanos was tagging them. They walk up and like ask Captain America, asks Thor, "What's he been doing?" He's like, "Nothing, just sitting there." So he's waiting for Nebula to bring the gauntlet back, and they walk up on him, Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America, and he is just beating their ass. They getting a few licks in, but he's just beating their ass. And he had Thor on the ropes, had Stormbreaker ready to bury it through his chest. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this thing starts shaking. It starts shaking on the ground. I knew what the hell it was instantly. I was like, Captain America is summoning Mjolnir. So what happened out the blue? Wow! He knocks Captain America out. He gets his shield. He comes for him, and he's hitting him with the meanest hammer shield combos you've ever seen. It was the hottest moment in the movie. And it, for me, it was. And when it happened, the audience I was at, the crowd went crazy. It was fantastic on there. He was piecing him up, and then, he knocked Mjolnir out the way. But then he started bashing his shield in, broke his shield, cut his leg open, and he started, doing the bad guy monologue like they usually do. And my favorite scene of the entire movie is that when they pan out, I was waiting for Captain America to be like, "Hey, I can do this all day," like his younger self told him in the movie, but he didn't. I really wanted that. But then they pan out, and it's the whole horde. Thanos brought his whole mother-sucking army, like it's gobs of them, all different shapes and sizes. Captain America is right there on the like a hill, like, "Hey, bro, I'm ready to go." Captain America got heart, bro. He had the best moment of this movie. He got heart for real. And all of a sudden you hear "on your left," and all these portals that Doctor Strange and Wong and them open, they open. First nigga to come through, Black Panther, walking with hella swag. I didn't know if it was Denzel Washington or Chadwick Boseman because there was so much swag in that walk. And then Doctor Strange comes out, the Guardians of the Galaxy come out, Spider-Man swings in, Falcon flies through. It was everybody started cheering again. And the final battle is probably the out of a sequence in a comic book movie, it's the best one that I've ever seen. The final battle, like the last 30 to 40 minutes is nothing but fighting. Like, it's lit. So for y'all don't say, I had two relatives that say there wasn't enough action. I disowned them immediately because there was plenty of action. But the final battle was lit, and then eventually Iron Man gets the Infinity Stones. He says, "I am Iron Man." He snaps his fingers. And then all of Thanos' horde starts to turn to dust. He turns and sees him, and eventually he's the last one. And he fades away in the dust. So they did to him what he did to them in the first movie. And then that's when it pans over, and Tony Stark is fried. He's out of it. I called this. Spider-Man was going to come and watch him die like he did in the other one. War Machine, and Pepper tells him it's okay, you can rest. He's looking, his hand falls down, his arc reactor, it's not technically an arc reactor, goes out, Iron Man dies. End of an era. Started with him, it's only right if it ends with him. They pan through, go to some other things, try to put the Infinity Stones back in placed throughout history. And then Steve Rogers goes to do it. How long is it going to take? As long as he needs. Hulk's like, it's going to take 5 seconds for us. All of a sudden, he can't come back. They can't find him. He misses time jump. They look to the right. There's an old Steve Rogers. Went back, lived his life with Peggy, and he gives the shield to Captain Africa American, which is Falcon. And he's going to be the new Captain America instead of Bucky. I stole that line from Daquan Wiltshire too because I thought it was funny. But yeah, man, it was good. It was good. I don't know where to place it on my all-time list. Like I've seen a lot of movies. I've seen a lot of comic book movies. It's hard for me to be like, yeah, it's the best movie I've ever seen. It's the best comic book because we all like The Dark Knight, but it's more real and grounded. So I try not to make them. I don't really put them in the exact same categories, kind of maybe like subcategories. But it was good. It was good as shit. I give it a solid A. If I find 3 hours to spare again, I'm going to go see it again for sure. It's making bank right now. This is Monday afternoon. I was supposed to post this last night, but I wanted to give y'all the weekend so I didn't spoil anything for anybody. And the weekend's over, so now I'm spoiling stuff for everybody. Character-wise, like I said, Captain America had the hottest moment. Tony Stark saved everybody. Well, the Rat saved everybody. Ant-Man saved everybody with the idea, and Iron Man put it together. They all worked on the plan, and he's the one that got the stones. Because Doctor Strange said there's only one chance. If I tell you what the chance is, it's not going to happen. So when he was rumbling with Thanos at the end, he's like, one, got the stones and made it happen, saved us. All the ones that were decimated Avengers, they were just there for the final battle. They had a few cut scenes here and there where they got a little bit of shine. Ant-Man, like I said, was a pivotal role. War Machine was a supporting character. Black Widow was depressed the whole time and she sacrificed herself. Hawkeye was more of a supporting character, but he had some moments where he got an opportunity to do his thing. I don't know why they have Okoye on here because she really didn't do anything. Captain Marvel's overpowered. I mean, she wasn't in it a whole lot, but what she did do was nice. But like, there's a point where she's rumbling with Thanos and she got him yoked up. He's beat up Thanos, but he headbutts her and she doesn't budge. She just mean mucks him. But it's like, bro, in the comics they'd rumble back and forth. You know what I mean? But he takes a power stone out, blasts her in the face, and gets her up off of him. I don't really like what they did with Thor. He's Fat Thor in it. He's not in shape because that time jump he was just binge drinking, so he's Fat Thor in it. He's Fat Thor, and he's depressed and he's so emotional. So more of Ragnarok Thor. I like the regal, stern Thor that kicks ass. You know what I mean? He was still whooping. He had Stormbreaker and Mjolnir, but that was just awkward. I thought they would do another time jump to get him back in shape, but it didn't happen. And for me, out of Infinity War and Endgame, the one who got the rawest deal was Hulk. We all know Hulk got his ass whooped in the first one. This one was Professor Hulk. He's a little bit smaller with Banner's mind. I thought he would use his brawn and his brain to at least get some get back on Thanos. Got nothing. He snapped it with the gauntlet to bring everybody back. His arm, couldn't use his arm anymore. It's all burnt up. And then he got a few cutscenes at the end where he was, destroying a couple things with Thanos' army. But Hulk got no get back on Thanos. I really wanted Hulk to get some get back. So if I'm missing anything, let me know in the comment section down below. I give it an A. It's a good ass movie. I would like to go see it again. If you haven't seen it, you probably lucked out because it was probably packed this first weekend. So as the weeks go on, you'll have more chances to get it. Solid A. It is my favorite Marvel movie. Infinity War and Endgame are my two favorite Marvel movies. It's an almost perfect, great conclusion to 21 movies, 11 years of filmmaking. I would like to see a supercut where where both of them are put together, 5 hours long, 5.5 hours long, just a one continuous big ass movie, and I would watch it and I would buy it. I would definitely buy it. It was good. Like I said, let me know in the comment section down below if I missed anything. If you enjoyed my review of Avengers Endgame, let me know in the comment section down below. While you're here, Like, share, and subscribe to your boy's channel. Like, share, and subscribe to your boy's channel. If I get a notification that you subscribe to me, I'll subscribe back to you. Until next time, y'all take it easy. Game recognized game. Peace.